Sagar,
Yes.
I'm very sorry for this move.
Whoa.
Ah, it's not a draw.
What's happening?
It's mate. No.
Good luck, Levy.
It's the night.
Very rude. No.
C4.
I believe that's like the one instrument. So I play a couple instruments.
Alright, okay. Thank you for playing.
Thank you, Lisa.
It's very annoying.
I played top ball.
Why don't you just start with
Okay,
c5?
sounds great. Go for
I thought you will go d4, maybe you'll go in some opening, but once you played knight c3,
Ah, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, we're hosting Monday. So we're hosting
This is very boring.
Now I'm happy that it's boring position, but still, the problem is with you, even
There's
if
always
it's
a way to-
boring, you will make it exciting by the end of it.
There's a blindfold event. I'm not sure exactly what the details are.
Okay, take this.
He's an expert at playing blindfold. He played power blindfold.
Is this
So he's doing
theory?
there'll be some sort of blindfold exhibition or something.
Maybe it's theory.
I don't think so.
I have to do the thing of the chess players stare at the ceiling.
And then
There.
I am.
There. Ah, yeah. This is.
Oh, you're hosting it.
No, I'm not hosting all these.
You're hosting the.
I'm hosting the charity event.
Ah, nice.
I was like, wait a minute. Sorry, I'm hosting what?
I can tell you the theory if you don't remember it.
Yeah, knight c3, queen b3, knight d5, b d5, e6.
They're so smart. They're such smart chess players.
But what about knight b6 here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, knight b6 looks pretty reasonable.
But maybe it's.
Do anything to avoid being in a room.
Now you'll be in a reel because of how nice and polite
Ooh,
and
yeah.
how Canadian you
An
are.
exemplar to.
Exactly.
Maybe
all
let's
the
try
chess
it.
players.
Yeah, I don't know what happens.
This is the golden standard.
Yeah, me neither.
Good luck with the content.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Who won? Sorry.
Who won over there?
Levy,
We're having some big games, some big battles.
Yeah.
but it's not going my way.
It's a long match. You're like Djokovic. You dissect the information and then you. Oh my god! It just got so much darker. I feel like all the light just left my soul.
I think that's okay. Chad, if that's not okay, tell me.
Society is so weird now. All this chat that. Take. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I also looked at this and thought, okay, let's go here. I really don't want to play this move.
Yeah, it doesn't look in the spirit of the position,
Nope.
but
Nope.
okay.
Not at all. Yeah, I just went for a simple and bad solution. Yes.
Alright.
Are you ready to play some treasure work on this?
I am.
So here's the theme.
Okay.
You have to sack your queen in the first.
No, this is horrible. Yeah, I played very, very badly this game so far.
Okay, but it's like it's not over yet, yeah?
Are you motivating me?
Yes?
I see. You don't want like an opponent who's just sad the whole game and.
I feel bad, you know, this sort of.
Okay, you're all scared.
No, I'm just lulling you in. You know, it's all part of my
Yes.
strategy.
I'm gonna sack you for this.
I just have to be careful of your tactics because they'll come at any point.
Yeah, the secret is like not to let me get anything tactical ever.
Yes,
but
yes. But I think no one is successful at that, right?
That depends. It's a terrible position. Oh my god. And I can't like decide on what to do because the position is so bad.
Queen
No, this
b4.
is very bad. Very bad. Oy.
Okay, I should maybe try and.
Oh yeah.
It's good. It's good. Keep thinking. It builds my confidence very falsely.
Yeah, but not. Okay, let's push the queen away. I guess it should be fine. Unless I'm missing something obvious here.
It's pretty good.
Did he give it? Oh, he did the same side? Oh.
Yeah.
I sacked the queen the same way.
Big question of whether it was smart or not. Seems smart. Very positional.
Yeah, maybe there were other options as well. Ah, knight g5.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at the queen odds. I have not played more than 5 minutes.
I have to do something, Sagar. You're making this very difficult for me.
Let's take this. Really?
What else?
It's coming. I thought rook c8.
Yeah,
but
I also,
it's
yeah. Once I
terrible.
realized I have queen d5, this seemed okay.
Ah, this is what I hate.
Playing me?
Okay, let's go back. Let's now. Really?
Of course. What? Come on. This is like the beast coming alive. I'm like Adiban, but from a discount store.
Discount.
I'm like Adiban, but yeah, from.
Okay, but let's try it. Yeah, like.
I'm not even taking that.
Ah,
bishop.
you're not taking that.
No.
Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna say if I win, I get the rules for the next one Tuesday.
Spent too much time.
Everybody has to play the end.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
But I ended up losing.
I don't like that move. But it's too late.
We did it after.
Ooh. You're psyching me out. Oh, I lost some time. Oh, what? Oh my goodness.
It's very rare that I.
Oh my gosh.
But
Oh.
you could.
No, rook b8. That's why I hesitated. No, I should just like go forward. I fought back. I'm not totally unhappy.
This position might not be so bad.
Hello, it's me, the person that just played that game with the white pieces. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. For those of you that may not know me and not know this channel, my name is Levi Rosman, also known as GothamChess. And this was a chess game that I played when I traveled to Toronto, Canada for the Candidates Tournament, the most important tournament of 2024. My opponent for this game and two previous games, which I made a video about, I might link them in the description as well. My opponent was Sagar Shah from Chess Base India. That incredible channel, excellent chess journalist. Sagar is very strong. He has two Grandmaster norms and a peak rating of like 2460, very close to being Grandmaster. But it didn't stop me from beating him twice in Blitz and getting really arrogant. And this game is a little bit of, trash talk gone wrong, as you saw. I was very confident because I had won the two previous games that we played, and I was playing different openings. I was in the zone. And then I lost on time, which was a rude awakening. But I think this is a very instructive game, so I'm going to show it to you in a little bit more detail so you were not confused about anything that's going on. And then your goal is to learn 3 things from this game. Okay? That's the goal. If you leave this video, you didn't learn 3 things, you're a bozo. So I opened with c4, the English opening. Boom, you just learned that that's called the English. Knight f6, knight c3. And this opening is called the symmetrical English because... very good. It's symmetrical. I played e3 here to try to build into the center with my queen's pawn. He actually can copy me. Like, if he really wants, he can copy me the whole way. But he doesn't. Sagar played g6, which is trying to fianchetto the bishop on the g7 square. And I also realized the board noises might be a little bit loud. I do apologize for that. And I played d4. He took, I took, and now, rather than finishing his plan with bishop to g7, Sagar played the move d5. And he played that because if he did that, for the beginners watching and the early intermediates, if you have a chance to dominate your opponent's center and walk your pawns in safely against knights, very often that's the best move, especially when the knights cannot hang out in the center of the board. Okay? So that would mean the knight has to go somewhere over here, and there's a very good chance the knight will be trapped because it cannot re-enter because you defend the pawns. So anytime you have an opportunity like that to seize the center, march your pawns forward, boot around the knights, it's probably the best thing to do. Beginners miss this type of stuff a lot. My opponent is not a beginner. He's close, though, and he plays the move d5. I'm just kidding. He plays d5. So now I take, he takes, and here I did something stupid. Here I completely forgot the variation, and yes, chess at a high level, you kind of have to memorize openings because we're all a bunch of nerds and try to prove that we have an intellectual advantage over our opponents when in reality we're just memorizing everything and we don't have to think. I'm not projecting, by the way. That is actually what we are. So here, rather than trading and allowing my opponent to have a dominant queen, which pressures the center, pressures my knight, and easily develops, you really don't want to allow your opponent's queen into the center if you cannot attack it. And I don't have a single way of attacking the queen. This is just a trade. So a queen in the center is quite good when it can't be attacked. So I didn't want to do that. But the best move here is queen b3. And the point of queen b3 is that I put pressure on this knight. If he takes me, I have a nice little trick. I can play bishop c4. And I target the pawn on f7, which could potentially lead to a checkmate. Like if he tries to run away, I can play here, here. At a very least, I can win the knight back. And at the very most, I probably just checkmate him in like 10 moves. But queen b3 is the move, and I forgot about that, and I went here. And my logic was, well, if bishop c4, he takes my knight, I move the queen. I'm so smart. It's the same position. We just reached it. You see the most recent move. We just reach it via a different move order. I was like, whatever, bishop c4. I'm so smart. And then he went here, and I was like, oh, that's why I have to move the queen out first, stupid. Right, yes, obviously. That's why I had to move the queen out first, because if I move the queen out, knight goes here, I have d5. And again, I just told you this, I just taught you this, I told you you gotta learn 3 things from this video. You're learning anything? Pay attention. Stop looking at the sidebar, stop being distracted, stop doing chores, watching me like, well, you put the phone up and you listen to the video and you shower. Like, you can't even watch chess. You gotta look at the screen for a second, all right? Pay attention. You have a pawn in the center of the board that can walk forward and attack an opponent's knight safely. It's probably the best move. I messed up though, right? Because now I cannot play d5 because I would lose my own bishop. So I went here, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh boy. Oh, this is really bad because my pawn is just the target. I don't know how to defend it. Now the computer just says, give the pawn up, Gotham. I really wish I had the computer on during the game because this is what I would have done. And apparently you can even trade the queens and play this move, threatening the bishop and a fork, and then he would play bishop e5, and then I would attack his bishop, and then he would move the bishop back here, and okay, I mean, like, this position I can work with, but I played very passively, and here I started defending my pawn, and I was very worried about the move bishop g4. Bishop g4 doesn't work right now because of... Time to learn a second thing. When your opponent pins your knight to your queen with their bishop, if certain criteria are met, you can counter them very swiftly and brutally. Number 1, the bishop has to be unguarded. It's unguarded right now. Nobody's protecting it. Number 2, if you have a bishop pointing at the f7 square and it's only protected by the king. Condition met. Sometimes you can take on f7 with check. And if they take back, you have a knight jump, which then checks the king and wins the bishop. But certain criteria have to be met, which I just read out to you, and if you don't remember them, just back the video up because that's how YouTube works. I would play knight to g5 safely, and then I would play queen g4. The knight has to be able to move safely. it can move safely. Here is not safe because it gets taken. Then you lose the knight, and you're probably going to lose a queen if you take. So bishop b3, right? I know that bishop g4 is possible, and then when Sagar castled, I was like, well, I can castle, but then he has bishop g4, so let's play h3. And then he went after my bishop, I castled, and he took my bishop, and I'm worse. I'm just worse here. I mean, like, no matter what. Why am I worse? He has the bishop pair. Bishop pair is advantageous. Like, if I have nothing to show for the bishop pair, if he just has two bishops, he's better, because the bishops are, bishops are better than knights. And also I have what's called an isolated pawn. It's a pawn that has no neighbors. Nothing on C and E. Everything in black's position has a neighbor, all the pawns. And if my opponent is able to block stuff, like for instance, here, get like a position like he's just much better. He's gonna target my knight, he's targeting my pawn, he's gonna target, like he's just blocking my pawn and he's not letting it go anywhere. And I was thinking, well, this is really bad. I'm much worse. As you can see, minus 0.4 with white in 13 moves is very impressively terrible. And I thought, okay, I gotta do something. I didn't want to go back, because if I go back to d1, I didn't know what my next move was, and that's really what chess is all about. He's gonna move his rook to the center. And if I play like knight g5, for example, I mean, he will attack my rook, and then he will probably trade knights with me. And then he's going to put the bishop on d5, and I have a horrible position. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't move my bishop because it's protecting everything. I can't move my knight. I don't know. So I didn't do that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go forward. And I thought he has to go knight to d5 in this position, but he plays the top engine move. I wasn't so sure about this move because it attacks my queen and potentially kind of like pinballs machine, like the pinball machine, you bounce all over the place. He pinballs the queen here. And then, but I thought, well, he's creating some weaknesses and, knight d5. And then at this point, like I already said, if I start making a lot of exchanges, I'm just going to be much worse. So I thought, okay. And as you heard from our banter, he was like, I need to stop you from getting to a tactical position because I really like tactical positions. I'm always looking for counterattacks and interesting moves. And that's when I found this move, knight to g5. And now I'm back in the game. I'm targeting the bishop. And if he takes, he will double isolate his pawns. But I'm also targeting the knight, so the bishop can't move. If he takes me, well, we're trading, but then I'm not going to have an isolated pawn anymore. So he took, and now it is extremely important. Look, my move keeps the advantage the same. This move triples the advantage for black. Why? What is the difference between these two captures? If you've been paying attention, it's time to learn a third thing. Are you ready? Isolated pawn. I just told you. This move improves my structure, puts my pawns together, and now my A pawn is isolated, but it's a lot less easy to exploit, and now these two pawns can actually march up together. More on that later, as you saw in the game. He plays bishop to d5, but he makes a big mistake, and suddenly I'm better, and suddenly I take over. Now, I was pretty pessimistic about my position most of the game, but I was like, arrogant. I won a few games. I'm like, it's in my favor. I'm going to be in completely good shape. Now, the best move here for him is to just move bishop, let's say, to f5, get out of the way, and now he will probably kick my knight out, and then he will play like queen d7. Say I play rook c1. He's going to go here, connect his rooks. That's what we call that. So the rooks can work together like a battery pack, and then they will, go here. But he went bishop d5, and he completely blundered c4. What he blundered here is that he could play rook c8. He thought he could play rook c8. I can't take the bishop because my queen is hanging. Well, then it's really convenient. I can take the bishop without hanging my queen. And he missed that, and at this point I was thinking, oh, I'm definitely playing for a win. Bishop c6, and now a very important move. I can't push this pawn because I hang my rook. Yeah, I mean, if I play rook c1 in this position, I can do that. But I was like, momentum is on my side. I gotta sacrifice the rook. I mean, it's what I'm known for. My rook is not doing a damn thing. You know what his bishop is doing? It is literally the backbone of the entire king's position. If all the squares around the black king get weakened, I'm going to have attacking chances. And that is why the engine does not evaluate this position as better for black, despite black being up 2 points. That is because you're about to learn a fourth thing, a bonus thing. Can you believe it? 4 things you're going to learn in this video. Pieces in chess have a relative value. This is not really applicable for like a 900 elo player, but it's something that you add to your toolbox and you'll keep in mind as you progress in chess. Pieces in chess have a relative value. Bishops are 3 and rooks are 5. But not all bishops and rooks are the same. Like, this rook hasn't moved. It's been 20 moves. That rook just perished without even moving. Right? The bishop for black was a 3.5 point piece, maybe a 4 point piece. And I mean, the black bishop right now is just a regular, you know, but now my bishop, I mean, hello, look at the real estate that it's going to scout out over there, right? It's a serious problem for him to deal with. And so I didn't have to do that. And not only did I not have to do that, that was probably the wrong move, because the best move here was to take this bishop, allow him to save this bishop, let's say to c3, take this pawn, but I thought, well, he's just going to stop me. Yeah, but the computer finds a way. You know, queen d7, queen b5. And basically the computer is like, okay, we trade, and now I will join, you know, this pawn. And once that pawn gets there, black resigns, because black will lose everything. I wasn't thinking like that. I was actually, you know, I did the, and then I took the wrong bishop. So I should have taken the bishop that probably would have led to the passed pawn, and the computer finds some way to defend it, like playing b6, trying to, you know, get rid of the pawn, keep my pawns doubled. Important, keeping them doubled, and then saving the bishop. By the way, instructive, kind of a fifth thing. Instead of giving me two pawns side by side, you give me stacked pawns. The alternative is giving me pawns that are side by side, which is very, very bad. Connected pawns, like I just showed you, improving white's pawn structure. But I was hyper fixated on the dark squares, so I made a mistake, and now I was like, okay, I'm arrogant. You know, I'm gonna move my knight. I'm gonna play, you know, knight here, bishop h6, checkmate. I'm gonna play bishop d2, bishop c3, checkmate. Sagar is never gonna see this coming. I mean, international master, schminternational flaster. Like he's gonna miss the checkmate. Then he played rook c8, and I was like, do I play rook b1 to attack the pawn? Do I play rook c1 to support this pawn? Do I play knight e4 to begin my plan? Do I play knight f3 to begin my plan? Do I play bishop d2, bishop c3? Like, what do I do? And I spent a lot of time, and I played rook c1, which is, you know, a fine move. The computer prefers I begin with the knight. I also thought about queen h4, by the way, which threatens mate, but as it so happens, this is a very powerful blockade. It's not easy to break through it. And how about this? Look, let's say you calculate pawn to g4, pawn takes g4, queen h7 mate. Oh my god, you're so smart. You're so smart. Did you know that? You're like a genius. Here's the thing in chess. We gotta pretend our opponents are not morons. I know that's a hard thing to do, but after g4, black would play rook takes c4, because every time you move something in chess, the position changes laterally, vertically, diagonally, right? So I don't defend that pawn anymore. Now, not only can I not take this pawn, my pawn is going to get taken soon, but by the bishop. And then I'm going to lose my queen. It's a tough position. I didn't know what to do. I spent a little bit too much time. Just from a practical standpoint, also got excited and spit on the microphone. I got, you know, too into the position. I didn't know what to do. I played rook c1, and now Sagar kicks out my knight, and he kind of blocks his position. And he plays e5. I thought e5 was a mistake. It is a mistake. And it's instructive. It's a mistake that gives me quite a sizable advantage, because now I have a passed pawn. A moment ago, I couldn't move my pawn forward. Now I think Sagar here just got caught up in the subreddit anarchy chess, and he thought en passant was forced, which I don't really blame him for, but it's actually not. That has not been put into law. And I played queen b6, which is the best move. I thought this was very instructive, trying to trade the queens, control the dark squares, and then start pushing my pawns forward. I thought, well, he's just, you know, he's toast. Takes. Plays a4. Now, I can begin moving into the position. I thought, you know, a3 makes sense because I'm on a dark square, so he can't target me with a light squared bishop. And I thought, all right, easy peasy, time to convert this position. Plays rook a8, my biggest advantage of the game, finally. I've earned my right to trash talk. I just won 2 games. The first game, dominance. The second game, crazy back and forth. This game was a defensive masterclass. Now look at me, I'm pushing his pieces back. He's gonna go bishop d7, I'm gonna go c5, c6, c7, c8. I'm already controlling the promotion square, right? Everything is good. He goes bishop d3. I'm like, oh god, all right, let me kick him out. Now I'm like, oh, that's annoying. Now, of course, here, I should play like c5. For some reason, I don't, because I have like 2 seconds on my clock. So then I go here, he comes here, and I'm like, oh, do I push? Do I go here? And I make a move, and I lose on time. Like, I played this move, and I straight up lost on time. I had like 4 seconds, and I got humbled. I was in a good position. When you have like less than 3/4, and every time we make a move, we gain 2 seconds. So it's not like we were playing some, you know, dirty flag thing. But this is a very instructive position how, you know, white is down material. White is down a knight for a rook, straight up. We both have 6 pawns. But my pieces, relatively, dominate his rooks. Like, he has nothing. Plays rook a6, I play c5, he cannot move a piece. So this shows you the relative value of pieces. And the fact that my bishop and my knight are probably 4-point pieces, and you cannot really argue these are 5-point rooks, right? So it's kind of interesting. Like, chess is very instructive in that way. It's a very instructive endgame. It's a shame I lost it on the clock. I would have liked to convert this game and win a resounding dominant victory and go home to my hotel room in Toronto and win absolutely nothing, literally no prize whatsoever, then share this game with all of you and try to feel good about myself, to remind myself of all of my shortcomings, not just as a chess player, but also as a human being on planet Earth, as well as my insignificance in the overall general scheme of things in the universe and the history of time. And on that existential note, the series between myself and Sagar Shah ended 2-1 in my favor, not in his favor. He won this game, but that doesn't mean that he gets a bonus for winning the whole thing. Next time we see each other, we hope to play some more games. Let me know if you enjoy this IRL content, and I will be posting a lot more of it. That's all I have for you today. Get out of here.